welcome to the Cooper Autoworks Rally recap. We are just kind of rounding things up after the Show Me Rally down in southern Missouri, and it's almost like a little mini 100 Acre Wood. We run some of the same stages that we run for 100 Acre, and so it's absolutely a blast. The twist is it's with tulips. You don't get stage notes, so you rely a lot more on the driver to read the road. And Calvin really likes tulip rallies. Talk to us about that.
Tulip rallies are fun and challenging for the driver. You've got to rely on your ability to read the road and just look ahead and anticipate what the turns are going to do ahead of time. You don't have the luxury of pace notes, so you don't know what the turns are, you don't know the severity. It's really just drive what you see, drive as fast as you can. I feel like it's really helped me that we've done, this is probably our, third tulip rally. So it helps a lot as a driver just to get more comfortable going at speed and just to read the road better.
Yeah, so I think kind of what we'll do is go through how the rally went for us, and then because this event was a regional event, we kind of want to highlight a lot of the other regional competitors that were there with us because we had such a good time with them, and we want to give all the regional folks lots of love. So if you want to go ahead and start.
Yeah, so as far as highlights for our team, we've got a few to go through. The first thing was really just getting the new suspension on. We finally got all the components we needed for the new suspension. We got it installed about the day before we had to leave, and did a couple donuts out in the field.
Yeah.
And that was about it for our testing and shakedown. Alignment's still a little bit off. It wasn't quite perfect, but it was good enough to run the Show Me event.
And to clarify, we got the Samsonas three-way adjustable.
Yes, the Samsonas three-way adjustable. It's very nice suspension. There's lots of travel. The car definitely sits a little higher now. It's got a lot of adjustment. We're still trying to dial things in, but it feels way different than what we were running before. We were just running K-Sport gravel coilovers.
Yeah, huge difference. I was telling everyone it's like riding on fluffy clouds of Go Fast. It was pretty awesome. It feels incredible compared to the old stuff.
Yeah, they're very confidence-inspiring over those K-Sports. And those K-Sports, in their defense, were pretty worn out.
Yeah.
I don't know how many rallies they've had done before we got the car, but we put at least 8 rallies on that suspension over the past year. So we definitely got our use out of them, and we'll be rebuilding them and keeping them as a set of spares in case we need them. But otherwise, the suspension's turned out really great. We got out there, and first loop that we ran, we started off at Lions Club after Park Expose.
Yeah.
And Lions Club is Lions Club. It's the same Lions Club that you're familiar with if you've done 100 Acre Wood or Show Me in the past. Same course, but I felt like we were able to go a lot faster on it this time. I don't know if it's because we've done it before or if the suspension helped. Or
I think the suspension definitely helped. There are some areas that can be a little bit rough, and the car just soaked him right up and put the power down even better. And so that was our first opportunity to actually feel the new suspension whatsoever. So that was kind of wild to get to feel that for sure.
Yeah, and it felt great, but as we pulled into the finish control, I started hearing some noises come out of the rear.
Yeah.
So that was a little concerning. I had checked to make sure everything was tight, but we weren't really sure what it was, but it was time to rally. So we just continued on to the next stage and hoped that it wouldn't get any worse and then we could make it to service.
Okay, so anything on those stages?
I mean, for the most part, the first loop was pretty uneventful for us. Other than those noises, they stayed consistent.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get a feel for the new suspension. We did on the very first actual stage, not the super special Lions Club stage. We did hit a left turn at a spectator point, and I guess
overcooked it.
Yeah, you could say that. Well, we didn't quite loop it, but we definitely ended up sideways, stopped in the middle of the road with a bunch of spectators all around us and dust everywhere. And
we got really close to Brad Plant's GoPro, so shout out to Brad. I'm blaming you for that one because Calvin likes to show off for the cameras, and I just think he couldn't resist giving yours maybe a little love tap. So he got pretty close. Brad shared video of that. I think there's 2 different views of that, but yeah, we just had to put it in reverse and keep going on down the road.
Yeah, from what I heard, it wasn't just us.
Yeah, it was not an uncommon occurrence on that corner.
That turn was just really loose or slippery or something as you're coming through it. So
Yeah.
we adjusted the second pass and didn't have that issue. But otherwise, it was our first real test of the suspension,
Yeah.
and it was working out great.
So we went to service, and we weren't really having any issues other than the strange noises till we got to service. We checked in, and we opted to go ahead and refuel the car because we had an hour-long service, and that included the refuel time. So we just topped the car off with gas at the beginning of service, and then Calvin went to start the car to pull out of the refuel area, and it wouldn't stay running.
Yeah, it just started sputtering, and I got out of the refuel area. There was also a queue of people waiting to get into it, so I was holding people up.
Yeah.
Essentially, tried to pull up to our service spot, and the car just died, and it wouldn't restart. So we actually had to push the car into our service spot,
Yeah.
and then try and figure out what was going on. Fortunately, we had an hour-long service, so that was nice. Plenty of time to try and figure stuff out. We did some diagnostics, found out that the connection at the fuel pump wasn't working very well.
Yeah.
Fuses were all good, relay was good. We had power going to the connector, but it wasn't connected to the pump very well. So our crew, Nathan, jumped in there and was ready to start cutting wires and getting things fixed. Ultimately, we just kind of bandaged it up and got it working again and finished our service, checked everything. Tried to find the knocking in the rear suspension. I think there's some adjustment. We might need to shim a few things.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of play in the suspension on one of the mounts. But other than that, everything looked good, other than that fuel pump issue, which was a little worrying at first.
Yeah, so we got the fuel pump issue patched up the best we could in the time that we had, and then we headed back out for the second loop. The name of the game for the second loop was dust. It was awful, super dusty, just absolutely could not see in some sections. And I know it caused some issues for us, and it certainly caused, which we'll get to when we recap what happened with the other teams, but it definitely caused some issues for a lot of folks at this event.
Yeah, and the first stage on the second loop was the Floyd Tower west stage. That had some dust in areas, but it wasn't too bad. But once we got to Pigeon Roost, I forgot the name, Baby Pigeon
East
Short,
short, something, yeah.
Kind of ridiculous name, but so dusty. Pigeon
Yeah.
Roost is usually pretty dusty. I think it's the stage itself, but it was so bad. There were points where we were just coasting through a cloud of dust until the dust cleared before we could continue on. Just
Yeah.
no point going fast if you can't see what's ahead.
And with not having notes, it's not like left 6, right 6, or left 5. You're in a cloud of dust and you don't really know where you are, and there's no notes to kind of give you that confidence to push through the dust.
Yeah, it's different for 100
Yeah.
acre. There's dust because I'll get a note telling me 300 and left 6. Okay, I can stay in it because
Yeah.
that dust is going to clear and then there's going to be a left 6. But on a
Yeah,
tulip,
with tulips, yeah.
it's drive what you see, and if you can't see anything, it's a little bit hard to drive it.
Yeah, for sure.
So ultimately, what happened is after the first 2 stages, we looped back around to repeat those stages, and there was an incident somewhat holding up that stage. So we looped back to Floyd Tower, and there was a long delay. Everybody was kind of sitting there waiting. Apparently, a local truck decided to just go run down the stage, disregarding everybody trying to stop him.
Yeah.
So that took a while to clear up, and we finally got going again. But at that point, they did decide to give everybody a dust minute, so we did leave at 2-minute intervals at that point.
Yeah, having the 2-minute dust minutes was really, really awesome, and that really helped us out quite a bit. So that was really nice. Once we got our 2-minute dust windows, then I felt like we had a much easier time. We didn't really have to battle dust or anything like that. And so for the most part, I mean, everything was really smooth for us the second loop, and we brought it into finish. Anything else that you can think of?
We didn't mention the continued fuel pump issues.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That were going on. So it wasn't completely smooth.
Yeah,
the
that's
stages were, but both times at the start of Pigeon Roost, we were sitting there waiting for the countdown, and the fuel pump decided to stop working.
Yeah.
And we were losing fuel pressure. Fuel pump just was cutting out. So both times, actually, I had to shut the car off and just kind of rely on the fuel pressure in the system to get us out of the start control. But once we were out of the start control, the car was moving again. It seemed to be functioning fine. So there's a bad connection in there somewhere we're going to be fixing before our next race. But both times it happened to us with the countdown. We're sitting there 5 seconds to take off, and the car's not even running. So that was exciting.
Yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, and with me not having full notes to read, I was kind of able to keep an eye on the fuel pressure. It did drop once or twice, I think, the second pass of Pigeon Roost I noticed, but it came back on pretty quick. But yeah, we definitely, I think, lost pressure maybe a couple times on stage, but it picked back up pretty quick. But otherwise, so then we finished the rally. You want to talk about how we finished?
Yeah, so as you can see, this is the trophy. We ended up third place in two-wheel drive. Mm-hmm. So being a regional event, they don't split up between limited and open classes for the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. It's just either your four-wheel or two-wheel. Mm-hmm. And we ended up third place and 6th overall.
Which is really exciting. It was our first podium. I had brought along some bottles of Martinelli sparkling apple cider. We've got to get the video of that because we did our own little mini cider spray. Yeah. It was kind of fun. Really exciting. You know, we've done a lot of events this year, and so that was our first time being on the podium. So it was a really big deal for us, and it was a really awesome feeling.
Yeah, so hopefully more of those in the future.
Yes, hopefully. So... unless there's anything else pertaining specifically to us, we can kind of go down through and talk about some of the things that happened with the...
Yeah, I think that covers it for our team. Pretty happy with the finish, so...
Yeah, it's definitely really exciting. Something to note on Moses, Colin, Brazel, that we were promised goats in the mileage. So, show me organizers, there were no goats on that stage, and I just want to let you know that because I had tulips, I was looking and I'm disappointed.
I was looking too, although I probably shouldn't have been.
Yeah. But anyway, so Floyd Tower, it seemed like Floyd Tower 4, which was the first pass of Floyd Tower, that stage claimed several cars.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Floyd Tower, but every year, whether it's Show Me, whether it's 100 Acre Wood, Floyd Tower always seems to claim a bunch of cars.
And it's not a rough stage at all either. So the first car that Floyd Tower seemed to claim was Michael Nicholson. And so they actually rolled their Volkswagen over completely on the roof. And he's got video of it up on his page. They were absolutely hauling. They were setting like fastest times. I want to say they were in like first. Mm-hmm. They rolled the car. They were completely upside down. In the video, you see them rock the car. They get it back on 4 wheels. I'm going to use that term loosely because I think 2 out of 3 were flat or debeated. They tried to limp it down the road, and then they tried to change one of the flats and keep going, and then I guess they lost oil pressure or overheated the car. So they were totally out after that point, and it was such a shame because those guys are crazy fast, and they are like, no one is more committed for sure. Weird Beard Rally, so I know you saw more of that than me. I just looked up and there were pieces of carnage on both sides of the road.
Yeah, we came around left. I don't even know what it was because we don't have numbers, but it was a sweeping left, and as soon as we come around it, I just see a car over on the right facing almost back towards us, and then just debris on the left side of the road, but a nice clear path there in the middle. So
yeah, it just sounds like maybe they came around the corner a little bit too quick, and a tree jumped out in front of them, and so they kind of spun around and hit both ends of the car. And then the last car that car claimed was the Honda CRZ, the Maxxis team, and that was with Jay Sharps driving, and I guess they shredded a belt which caused the car to overheat, and so they were just out due to mechanical issues. The next one, Baby Pigeon, so that next stage there, Chuck Sardike was off. And of course, everyone was okay for all of this. Sardike was off. The car didn't look too bad, but he definitely wasn't going to get back in it. Then last but not least, stage 7 was the last stage of the day, Adam Harden. And, sorry, I did miss one. Adam Harden, he actually had an ATV coming at him downstage, so they had to radio and shut that stage down. That was really, really scary. I cannot imagine having an ATV coming at you. But to backtrack, actually, we missed one. Stage 6, Boxer Rally team. They went a little bit too fast around a turn, and I think the dust caught them a little bit, and so they slid off and hit a tree, and so unfortunately, they had a DNF as well. So for everyone else, it looks like that finished. Zach Feel, who is also in the other Honda Maxxis car in the Fit. That was his first event, first time driving. They had a great time. I think they did pretty well. Cooper Rally team, which we have a love for, their last name's also Cooper, and they're in the Neon. They had a blast. It was their first time being able to finish a rally. Nathan Coulter, it was also his first time finishing a rally, and he had a blast as well. He's had just a bunch of weird issues, like mechanical, weird stuff pop up, so it was awesome to see him get to finish. And also, Williams American Rally Sport, it was awesome to see them get to finish because they've had issues, mechanical or otherwise, in the past. So we'll go over the winners. So for overall, it was Hooper Barbera of River City Rally in first place overall. Second place overall was Rethi, Unamused Rally Team. They had some transmission issues, I think they posted. And so congrats to them for their second place. Ecker Harden were third place overall. For four-wheel drive, first was Rethi. Second was our friends Patel Rally Team. And it was really awesome for them to get to finish and get some experience. And third was Clark and Clark in their Audi, the Clark brothers. In two-wheel drive, first was Hooper Barbera. Second was Eckerd Harden. And third was us. And so that was, it was really exciting to get to see so many folks just kind of get the accomplishment of finishing a rally and also, do really, really well. Anything else?
And we forgot to mention our friend Jake Burke and his
Jake Burke and Eric Schlee. Duh. So Jake's mom is known for bringing brownies. We never got any brownies, though.
This is like the third or fourth time that I've heard of these magical brownies. I've never gotten any.
So, we are actually sponsoring Garage Hero Hada, Jake Burke and Eric Schlee, to help them get to LSPR. So, Jake, this is your call out right now. We better get brownies at LSPR.
Yeah, better figure something out. I don't know if his mom's gonna go, but
oh yeah.
Maybe you can work something out.
Yeah, I think Mama Burke can send us some brownies. But anyway, they had a great time. They finished the rally. And so, I think that covers most of the teams there. The last thing we want to talk about, we're now an affiliate with H&P Speed, which is really exciting. We've been following H&P Racing and their Mini Cooper. So when Calvin and I first wanted to get into rally, I had dreams of building a Mini because I loved my Mini Cooper. And so I loved following his adventures in the Mini, and he's now making shirts. And so we are now affiliates. If you go to his website and want to purchase a shirt from him, our discount code is Cooper Auto, and
we'll put that in the video description as well.
Yeah,
with the link.
So definitely check that out, and we'll be talking to him about maybe some other shirts and stuff in the future.
Yeah, we might have some new designs coming out for 2020, so keep an eye out for that. And we're headed to LSPR this week. It's Sunday, so this week.
Yeah, this week. So thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the recap.